Welcome to GBDA on
Yay! Welcome,
Air.
guys. This is our very first episode on GBDA on Air. I am your host, Deniz.
Hi, I'm your host, Gaurav.
Hi, I'm your host, Cindy.
And we're going to be talking about a couple of exciting things for this podcast. In today's episode, it's just going to be an introduction. So we're just going to introduce ourselves. I'll go ahead and start off. So, hi everyone, I'm Deniz. I am in my third year of GBDA. And fun fact about me is that I have an extreme love for elephants.
Wow, when did that start?
Oh, I went to Kenya back in like eighth grade. We went on like an international school trip and I was able to see them. So I fell in love with them ever since then.
Oh my gosh, did you go on the safari?
We did go on a safari. It was very, very, very nice. I loved it so much. Not only did we get to see elephants, we saw like zebras and like giraffes and all that, but it was so
Oh.
fun. But I feel like my love for them really started from that trip.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, I went to Kenya when I was in third grade, and yeah, that safari was life-changing.
Right? It's so beautiful. All right, Gaurav, let's start off with you as well. Let's go.
Awesome. I am in my second year of GBDA, and a fun fact about me would be that I have lived on 3 different continents.
Ooh,
Let's hear
which
it.
continent?
Oh, okay. So, born in India, so that would be Asia, and like raised a little bit there. I was mostly living in West Africa, that would be Nigeria, which is what I call home. And now Canada, North America.
That's so
Ooh,
cool.
nice.
How is it like living in Nigeria?
Oh my gosh, it is so much fun. And it's kind of funny because I have all my friends there, so when people see me, they always expect me to be like coming from India. And so the border agent at the airport stopped me and was like asked me, where are you from? And I said, Nigeria. And he's like, are you sure? Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I come from Nigeria. But no,
Pretty sure
I,
you would know.
yeah, I have no idea where I came from, I just sort of appeared in Canada. No, but it was so much fun living in Nigeria. And yeah.
That's
What about you, Cindy?
So I am in my second year of GBDA, and a fun fact about me is that I used to do competitive cheerleading for like 3, 4 years when I was younger.
Oh
wow.
my God.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was fun. Like I was always like the type of kid who to like tumble and just like to be thrown and that type of stuff. It was really a great experience. I would love to go back, but I feel like my body does not move the way it should be anymore. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're all just getting old.
Did you have any like bad injuries during that? I'm curious.
So I was like dropped from a stunt once, and then I tried to catch myself, and then I like with my arm, I put my arm out, and then I landed on my elbow and I fractured it.
Oh
Ow.
That's
no.
one of the injuries I got, and I would always sprain my ankle because my ankles are weak.
Oh, that must have hurt, eh?
So,
Okay.
are we all excited for this podcast?
I'm so hyped.
So excited to bring
Okay.
back GB on air. When I was in 12th grade, and just like falling in love with all the people that I was seeing on there. And it was so funny because it was Graham and Kara and like all of those people. And when I got here, I started working with them in GBDA SOC. And it was so fascinating because I used to see these people in grade 12 on my screens, and now they're real people. Oh my gosh, so amazing. So yeah, super hyped.
That
Cindy?
Yeah, like I feel like with this podcast that we're starting up again, especially after COVID, it was like a very long hiatus. So we're just getting right back into it, starting fresh, starting new, all figuring things out. It's going to be a great learning experience for everybody involved.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's just so important to share like experiences, insights, and knowledge about GBDA. As students, we've learned so much. And with SOC, we communicate with so many different people. So we'd love to like share everyone's experiences here. And yeah, something that I've noticed is all 3 of us are so different. And it's going to be so amazing to see how we all like, think of our experiences in GBDA and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm super excited to get this podcast going because I feel like we have a lot of exciting things planned for everyone and like ourselves included. But we do want to like commit to our listeners as well. Like we want this podcast to be super, super informative and engaging and just really enjoyable for GBDA students to like listen to, probably on a drive back to Waterloo for 40 minutes, on the road.
Oh my gosh, yes. I would love a podcast like this. GBD on Air, the first season, I binge watched it so hard.
Okay, so let's talk about the things that we love about our program.
Yeah.
Gaurav, you want to start
All
us
right.
off?
Yes. So I have a very exciting journey into GBDA, which I'd like to sort of speak about. Because when I started looking for universities, I emailed a bunch of them and I said, hey, I want to do design. And everyone got back to me with like those standard design programs. But I had also been studying business at the time, so really wanted to do that. Funnily, I emailed McGill's health department, like their health services building. I don't know how that happened, but they got back to me with an email saying, hey, we're health services. Contact admissions about this. We have no idea. So that was quite funny. I wanted to be an engineer for a long time. Then I hopped into business. Then I hopped into coding. I was doing design as a background thing for this entire time. And then I found GBDA and thought it was such a perfect program because I didn't want to let go of business or coding or design. And this program let me embrace all of it, especially in first year doing econ and CS. I was having the time of my life because it was like all of my interests combined, especially that winter term. So stuff was really fun.
Cindy, what about you?
I feel like I still don't know what I'm doing in my life. I kind of just came into GBDA with open mind because it's a little bit about everything. Like you're learning a little bit about business, a little bit about technology, a little bit about design. Like my original thought, like in high school, was to go into science. Like I was going to be like a science major. I took all 3 of my sciences. But after COVID, I'm just like, science is not for me. I can't be doing chemistry for the rest of my life. And so I really just switched into business because I've always had a business-driven mindset, and design has always been like in the background. And I found this program and I saw this and I told all my friends, like, this program was built for me because you get to learn a second language, you get to go abroad, which is like highly recommended. We have like 26 different countries to pick from when we go abroad, which is insane. And everything about this program, when I found out, it was like it fit right into my plan. So that was kind of my trip into GBDA.
It's so fascinating to see how we all came from so many different places. Speaking to all the year, first years last year, basically I found out that people were coming from CS backgrounds, from art history backgrounds, all over the world into GBDA. And then people also go into so many other places. Like over the summer, I spoke to a couple of our alumni, and we have a product manager at Google. We have marketing people at like huge companies. We also have art directors and artists and social media content developers. And like we have everything from art history to product management and software dev, all in GBDA. So it's a fascinating program.
True.
For sure.
Yeah. I love the diversity in this program too. I came in with like a complete different mindset. I was not expecting to get into GBDA, if you want my honest opinion. It's because in the initial process of like during my senior year of high school, I was definitely going through, I want to definitely be in business or I want to be in architecture. I was actually studying high-level physics, so that was like a huge thing for me, and I was like, okay, I definitely need a physics background to get into architecture. And so I had applied for a lot of schools, and I applied for both their business and architecture program. Waterloo was the only, and I swear to you, was the only school on my list that I had not picked architecture for, or like heavy business and like marketing or like finance solely. And this program just like stunned me on another level because it involves, like you guys said, like so many different courses, and it's so diverse. It's a huge mix. It's a melting pot, literally. The best way I can say is a melt. But yeah, I love
absolutely. And I think it's kind of funny too because Terry, one of our profs, actually studied architecture, and now he's teaching filmmaking and has been directing documentaries at the CBC. That's been really funny.
Terry's my inspiration, honestly.
He is an inspiration.
Yeah.
So yeah, how has campus been for all of you? Let's talk about main campus first and then Stratford.
Who wants to go first? Let's hear it.
Ooh.
Let's do Gaurav. You lived on res your first year. How do you feel about that?
I live in res. Actually, I still live in res, fun fact. But res has been amazing. Getting to meet the people, especially living in that living learning community, because half the people on my floor were from GBDA, and I don't think I would have formed the number of connections that I have today without that living learning community by my side. So I love that. And then campus has so many like different opportunities for clubs and things like that, which we will talk about in a second. But yes, living on res has been amazing. I do have to say second year is such a change from first year because we're all living apart for the first time, and it's kind of, I miss everyone. So living on res was sort of like the perfect opportunity to just like mingle with people, form friends early on. I still remember that first day where we all played board games and I bought cookies for everyone so like I could make friends. People loved that. Fun experience, guys.
For me, I lived off campus right off the back. I'm not from Waterloo, however, I moved into a apartment with a few roommates, and I commuted every day to Waterloo main campus. And it wasn't too bad of an experience because it was only like a 10-minute bus ride. Everyone that found out I lived off campus always asked, like, how do you make friends? I feel like I've always been a social person. I've always been extroverted. That's never really been too big of an issue for me because you can join clubs and that type of stuff. The friend group I found in GBDA, I met through Instagram. Like when everyone like makes those like little group chats, being like, "Oh, I'm in the same program as
Right.
you." That's how I like met my current friend group, and I've just kind of just stuck with them like throughout the whole process, just meeting other GBDA students along the way. And that was kind of my experience with living off campus.
Oh,
So fun. And I think it's so important to make friends when you're in GBDA, especially as you move into your upper years, because you need a support system to rely on. And GBDA has so many friendly, outgoing people.
You can talk to anyone and they would talk to you back. Like, don't be scared to walk up to someone and be like, hey, I'm also in GBDA, because then they're gonna like love to start a conversation with you.
for sure.
We all live in different places. Living in Res, right? Me and Cindy live in Waterloo, or Cindy and I, sorry, grammar. Denise, you live in Stratford. How is that?
I do. I live in the cute town called Stratty. We love Stratty. Honestly, it's been great. I feel like I've lived here for about a year and a couple of months now. So I moved to Stratford in my second year, and currently, me being in my third year, I am still living in Stratford. First year, I was online, and I was home. So moving to a small town from where I'm from was like a huge transition, I will say. Um, in Stratford, everyone kind of knows each other or knows of each other. Like you see very familiar faces walking down to like livery yard and getting your coffee. So it's a very knit tight little community that we have here in Stratford. To be honest, I do love the fact that like Stratford is a very relaxed kind of town. Whereas in Waterloo, from what I've heard, is very much, it has like a lot of nightlife. It's a lot of like bars and clubs and super nice restaurants. Whereas in Stratford, it's very mellow. It's very relaxed. Everyone just kind of does their own thing. We only have one good bar here, in my honest opinion. One good bar, two good restaurants. But some may say it gets really repetitive and really boring. Sure, I would get that. But if you have things to do, I feel like that would keep you busy. And keep in mind, I am a 3-minute walk from campus, a 30-second walk to the YMCA, a 4-minute walk to Stratford downtown. So living in Stratford, especially near campus, has been so beneficial. I don't have to wake up at 7 in the morning like you guys do. I'll wake up at God knows what time, 10 minutes before my lecture, and make my way over there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's something actually we should talk about. So, yeah, you wake up 10 minutes before your lecture. Well, Cindy and I sort of get to Stratford in different ways. Cindy, you carpool. How's that?
So carpooling has been great. I have my license, but I don't have my car. Looking for carpool options was definitely super hard and tedious, knowing how it is. And I met one of like my friends in my first year, and she ended up bringing her car down, and she lives in the same building as me. So I just go downstairs, and she drives. I offer to drive just in case she's tired, but it is her car. So I just sit there. I like sleep. I play the music. It's honestly really great knowing she's in the same building. I know other people have to commute to their driver's places to get driven, just so it's like not inconveniencing the driver. So I know a lot of people have to wake up even extra early. And being friends with my driver also helps as well, because I could just text her and be like, hey, I woke up late. Can we leave a little later? And that type of a vibe. It goes both ways. So it's very open communication there.
She's living her
Love that
passenger
flexibility there.
princess.
Yeah, passenger princess only.
Passenger princess. We love that for you though.
And controlling aux must be fun.
Yes, I
Um,
love music. I know always what type of song to be playing. I
She
never
knows.
like miss a beat.
She reads the room. She knows the vibes first thing in the morning.
Bangers only.
Bangers only. Gaurav, tell us about you. What's your way of transport to the Stratford campus?
So I use the yellow school buses. For those who don't know, USA has come up with a shuttle program where we basically get driven to Stratford in a yellow school bus. It's awesome, and that feeling of like being in high school again. um, But it is kind of funny. But I would say it's really nice because compared to my carpool option, this was actually quite cheap. For carpool, I'd have to pay for gas, and gas prices have gotten expensive. So love that. I would say though, every morning it feels like I'm in this like little dance with fate because I leave like every morning. I've been leaving a little bit later than the morning before, and it's getting to a point where I'm like seconds away from missing the bus. I'm hoping to fix that after reading week. But yeah, overall though, I really do love the convenience of like having an option to just take a bus in the morning instead of like finding a carpool. That was quite hard. Yeah, and I've heard that they're trying to do an afternoon bus soon. So really excited for that flexibility and having like just one class a day would be really fun. Yeah.
That's true. I was really happy that they were able to provide guys that live in Lou that like service, because I felt like it was really a struggle for so many people for so many years, because GBDA is not a very it's almost 10 years. It is 10 years old. I think the GBDA program is 10 years old. So I'm surprised that they didn't introduce this a little earlier, but I'm so happy now that you guys like have that convenience of like, like not having to like stress about like carpool and like gas money, especially with the prices going up like crazy. So
Oh
yeah,
gosh,
that's definitely a plus
absolutely.
for us GBD students.
Yeah, something I'd like to quickly mention is GBDA on its 10-year anniversary is finally a co-op program, so that has been fun. And we will discuss that in a second. Woo. So yeah, Cindy, excited for co-op?
Yes, I am. I was so excited when I first found out that our entering year was the first year to get co-op guaranteed. I know a lot of upper years were jealous. I spoke to some people at different schools being like, if they had that, they would have picked GBD opposed to their current program. I feel like that's such a good opportunity for us, and we're the first like year going right into it. I feel like it will give us a very big insight into the work industry, knowing how broad our program is, experiencing different industries. Like one co-op term we could go into business, another co-op term we can go into design, another co-op term we can go into tech. Really get a sense and feel for the work industry before we jump right into our like selected field.
I find it so funny too that we compete with Arbus, honors arts, even systems design engineering for jobs because we we can literally do everything. While we were on the topic of Waterloo versus Stratford, Denise, you mentioned what made you live in Stratford, but Cindy, what made you choose Waterloo instead?
I picked Waterloo because I grew up in Mississauga, which is not a small town. It's right beside Toronto, but it's not right in the downtown core. I still have like the big malls, very big like social life in Mississauga. So I feel like living in Stratford would not be ideal for my lifestyle. I feel like very small town. I remember Denise telling me the stores close at 5 p.m. And I am not a morning person, so I wake up pretty late. I cannot deal with the 5 p.m. closure. And so I feel like Waterloo, just being around other university students, just connecting with other people and meeting new people and being in that type of environment suited my lifestyle.
I feel like living in between the two different places is very much of a lifestyle pick. Like with me, I felt like I wouldn't want to depend on someone to drive me for 40 minutes there and back. Like I felt like that was a huge debate that I had to go through. And I just thought, the convenience of being in the same town might be nice. Although we do face a lot more issues, like you said, we have like stores that close at like 4 or 5 p.m., depending on what kind of store it is and all those things. But I feel like there is true hidden gems in Stratford that not a lot of people that don't live here would know. So if you ever want tips and tricks and advice and places to see and places to sit by the lake by, I got you. I'm your girl.
Awesome. We've all been very involved with campus and clubs and things like that, especially GBDA Society, or as you love to call it, GBDA SOC. Let's quickly discuss our experiences with that as well. So, Cindy, you're a chief of finance. How is that? Can you tell us how you joined GBDA SOC and what's that been like?
Yeah, for sure. So I applied to the position, just like looking for getting into like the program, just really like being an active like member within the society and like helping out like with campus events and things like that. So I applied to be chief of finance and I got the position. And it was really great because I have like a like strong business mind. So I really wanted to like learn and like speak with accountants and like really learn the inner workings of the process. And it's been a great learning process. The accountants are super nice, they're super friendly, they're super helpful. And the previous chief of finance was a huge help showing me the road, just teaching me everything that goes into it. So the training was great.
Absolutely. And Denise?
So in second year I was a year rep actually. I had applied for being a year rep. And I feel like it was super fun, like getting to see the way that we worked as a society, because I didn't want to jump right in without knowing how GBDA SOC kind of worked. So I feel like being a year rep was super fun. I was really into like event planning and all that jazz pizzazz, so I was very much in tune with that, and I really did like helping out with like different events that we had. We had the movie night, we had, God knows, the gala was the biggest one. Like that was fantastic. And
Gala.
our team did a great job. I know that so many people, we had a great turnout too, and like so many people loved it and had a good time. So that was me during second year, and I am currently the chief of communications internal. So that's been really fun. I boosted up and I was really happy about that. I was so psyched. But being a chief of communications internal, I feel like it has given me an opportunity to connect more with the student faculty that we have on campus. So I'm very much with student services all the time. I'm always talking to Summer, always talking to Sherry, always talking to Nicole and Kishori, and yeah, just a bunch of people. And I feel like I love doing that because my personality is very much extroverted, so I love to get to know people. And like you guys, obviously it's been so fun working with you guys, and I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be such a great team. So super excited to see what is to come for the future and the rest of this year for us. But we have great people on this team. Gaurav, tell us about you, Mr. VP.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Yes, I was a year rep last year, and then I decided, hey, let's run for something that, I was really excited about actually. So GBDA Society was one of the main things that helped me meet so many people as well, apart from Res. And yeah, I decided I want to have a greater involvement here. I heard that the VP runs the Europe's, and I was like, okay, cool. We're running for VP. And I was running against one other person. They were so amazing. And I have to say, like, I'm so lucky to have this position, but it was quite a tight race, actually. So yeah, now as a VP, I help manage the Europe team. I also can contribute to exec stuff like the podcast, which I'm so excited about.
Yeah.
Let's go. And that actually brings me to a quick update about our year reps. We finally have year reps, guys.
Woo!
Yay. We've got a team of 11 year reps, and I have to say, I love that team so much. They're so active, they're so enthusiastic, super fun sort of group. Yeah,
I'm excited to
that's my year rep update.
Yeah, I'm super excited to like meet all of them together, and I just want to see like how we all bond as like execs with year reps. I just want to see how that goes, and I'm super excited for that.
Oh my gosh, yes. For our first event, or for our second event, I guess, we're planning this huge Halloween fair that we're so excited about.
Yeah.
Let's see how it turns out. Yes, these year reps, like, they planned it out themselves. They volunteered to take on positions at different tables and booths. I'm so excited.
We have a very creative team this year. I'm so happy about that.
Absolutely. And I want to take a second because, Deniz, you mentioned Summer and Nicole and Kishori and Sherry, and I want to mention how amazing they are and take a moment to like give them a quick shout out.
Yes.
Yes, they have been such a huge support to, I think, all like GBDA members, or at least most of us. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, like Kishori, Summer, Nicole, and Sherry.
Yeah, we
Awesome.
have so many amazing faculty members, and big props to them. It is everyone that is in student services, but also props to Noah from media services. We have Greg, we have Ushe. All those guys have been absolutely fantastic and have made our experience at GBDA 10 times better because of that.
Absolutely.
For sure. Okay, in topic of speaking about GBDA a lot, I want to know more about the campus organizations in relations to clubs. I think, Gaurav, you had a little bit of talk about there.
Yes. So I joined a bunch of clubs in my first year because I was really bored and I thought it would be a nice place to meet people. So I actually have a few recommendations. Starting with the Marketing Association.
Mhm.
This club has sort of been like my rock during first year. I loved it. And fun fact, guys, did you know 65% of GBDA graduates go into marketing? Yeah?
That's so crazy.
I know, right? Marketing is our jam. So UW Marketing Association, guys, join them. They have fun events, they have case competitions, they have so much stuff. Next up, UW Product Management. I am not a part of this club, unfortunately. I would love to be, but I am so excited for their case competition. It's called ProdCon. It's coming up in November. Like, getting geared up for that. Oh my gosh, how could I mention other clubs when we have one right at home in GBDA? Cube. Has anyone here heard of Cube?
I haven't heard
No, I haven't actually.
Okay, so I gotta tell you this. Cube is our very own GBDA run club that works on UX design. So the idea is you pick a project that you're really passionate about and work on it for the entire term, going from like from the empathize phase to ideation to prototyping, testing, everything. And it's an amazing way to add projects to your portfolio and work with a team. I know that's something I've really struggled with because when I'm working on portfolio projects, it's just a personal like project that I've done on my own. Versus here you're working with a team and you have mentors and you have the exact team there to support you. It's so fascinating. Please check them out.
Sounds
Yeah?
good. Fantastic. Thanks for sharing that, Gaurav.
Of course.
All right. I want to hear a little bit from Cindy. I do want to hear about you had some opinions on like the equipment, right? Last time I remember we had a little
Yeah.
conversation about that.
Yeah. In our Stratford campus, we have a media services room where we have access to audio equipment, lights, speakers, cameras, instruments. We have 3D printing. Anything you can think of, we have it. I'm pretty sure we have one of the largest media services on campus, both Waterloo and Stratford, if I'm not wrong. And it's super easy to access. All you have to do is go in, tap your walk card, and the staff there is honestly like super helpful, super friendly. If you have any questions on how to use anything, they know all the products like the back of their hand. They're super helpful with everything. And it's honestly super great to have because this technology is so expensive, especially as a university student. So most of the time, you won't ever have the ability to access and use these equipments after the program. So it's really great being able to access these equipment. And yeah.
For sure. No, I 100% agree on that. I feel like the GBDA program has made it super accessible for students like us to really use these different equipments and technology and softwares. Even they even like help us out with like downloading softwares of like Adobe. But I do want to know, Cindy, do you have any preferred equipment that you've liked? Any specific camera or maybe like a light set or a mic?
I don't have too much experience with it, but for one of my classes, I rented out the Canon E90, if I'm not wrong.
Nice.
And we are currently working on this silent film project where we are creating a second long silent film based off of emotions. And it's super great because I was able to rent out this camera with a tripod and like a wide angle lens, which is great for like shots and like landscapes in general, because I really want to portray my vision well. And I spoke to the media services about what my vision was, and they're like, you're gonna need this, this, and that. So it was super great. And I took all 3 equipments home and I have a week to use it. They're super easy with renewal. So I have it till I've had this camera for almost a month now because I just kept renewing it, which is great. They'll let you renew it if they don't need it. And most of the time they won't need it because there's so much equipment to go around. And it was super great. The camera, super user friendly. And if you still have issues with it, Noah, he has tutorials. And so you can contact him for help using cameras with the setup, anything. He's super great. Reach out to him.
Yeah, and I have a favorite equipment that I like to discuss, which is the lighting kit. Guys, the light wand at Media Services can do magic for your videos. Because I have a lot of boring shots, but then add a little bit of colored RGB light to it and it looks fascinating. So would highly recommend that.
That's true. I remember, like you said, Cindy, that project that you guys are working on right now, what was it? The no noise, silent something.
Show, don't tell.
Show, don't tell.
Yeah.
Yes. I really love that project, actually. It was super fun. Like you were saying, like equipment was super easy to access. And then I also used those light wands that you were talking about, Gaurav. Like I love them. They were absolutely amazing. The shots that I got, insane. So
I know. In fact, Denise, I think we saw your film as an example of what we're supposed to do in class.
What?
So yeah, it was the purple one with the projector, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we saw it in class.
No
You are
way.
a class example.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. No way. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it was amazing.
Oh my
I saw you on the screen and I'm like, wait, that's Denise. Oh my gosh, I should go tell her.
I hope he said
Yeah.
it was like a good example, not a bad example.
Yes. Terry loved your film. He kept like pausing and commenting on, look at how beautiful
Look at
that
the lighting.
I'm blushing. I'm blushing. I know you guys can't
Yeah,
see me.
I
but
feel
I'm
like going into the assignment, I was definitely nervous because I had a vision, but I'm not very like, I don't know how to use this equipment. I don't know how to edit. So I'm just like, I have a vision, but I don't know how to execute it. The technology and the equipment that we have makes it so easy because I'm just like, I didn't know I could take this clear of a shot. I didn't know if I could do this. I didn't know I could edit it like this.
Right.
So it was
Yeah.
super great learning.
I also have to say, I have a couple of friends who are used to camera equipment, and I could not have done this project without them. Like, shout out, guys. Hannah and Rashi, if you're listening, thank you for helping me with my equipment and teaching me how to do basic things like closing your tripod correctly. Thank you.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that project for me, the show Don't Tell, that was like a big eye opener for my love for film. Like it started a whole other thing for me and I didn't know that I had it in me. I love photography. I do photography in my own time, but like film is like a whole other world to enter. So when I started that project, honestly, I fell in love with it. Props to Terry. Terry, if you're listening to this, honestly, you have changed my little brain here because I was so conflicted on what I would enjoy the most out of GBDA. And having Terry for like 2 years was an eye opener. I love that class so much.
I know. I have to take a second to speak about Terry because I have two things to say. First, his fashion. It's on point. I love how he dresses himself because it's so bright and colorful. And
I love
that's the
his
first.
humor. His humor, I'm always like in the corner laughing, and I'm looking around and no one else is laughing. I'm just like, didn't no one else hear that? I was speaking to Jake, another one of the students in my classes, and we were dying about all his like little comments, and he's so humorous. It's so
Yeah.
funny.
I love
Oh my gosh, and the way he shortens words and just like the basic chaos. I think in our first class he did mention, one of the reports that he got back from student surveys was this class is controlled chaos without the control. So yeah, it's absolutely fun having him there.
Yeah. Shout out
Shout out to
Terry.
Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I actually saw him in the hall the other day and I was like telling him like, Terry, are you going to be teaching like any of my classes in 3rd and 4th year? And he's like, no. When I tell you I wanted to burst into tears in that moment, like that was so hard for me because I think it was after the fall term of 2nd year, I didn't have him anymore. I had another prof. But I was like so devastated because every time you walked into Terry's class, like he was always playing this like funky music like on his speaker and then you're just vibing. You're like, okay, I see you.
Now he lets students control the aux. Honestly, there's always Nigerian music playing there and it feels so amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
He gave us that
Awesome.
opportunity too. He was like, I'll let you guys pick out a song and if I like it, we'll keep playing it. But if not, I'm shutting you down. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I love that. He's very straightforward with what he says, and I'm that kind of person who loves that kind of straightforward stuff. Like if your work sucks, he's gonna tell you to your face, "This sucks, do this," and I appreciate that kind of feedback and
you
stuff.
need that sometimes. You can't like hide around a bush when you need that direct form of feedback because it's just honest. It's not like brutal. It's not like out of like a bad heart. There's no bad intentions. It's like the truth.
Exactly. And Terry can be really kind sometimes because I remember he recently sent out an email just being a wellness check. Like, how are you guys doing? I hope everything is fine. I love that. And he's
Well, I
so
love that too. I loved it.
I love profs that
Professors
genuinely. I love
yeah.
profs that care for students. Genuinely, like those will always be in the back of my mind. Like I had some high school teachers like that, but also having that in university, especially, has been such a blessing to have. Honestly, I can't even express how grateful I am to the great and amazing profs that I had over the past like almost 3 years.
Same here.
Yeah. Okay, so
right.
let's summarize a couple of these points, guys. So we had a really good chat towards the end here in regards to access to equipment and our favorite class and film projects and all of that jazz. We talked about campus life. We talked about our favorite classes. We talked about clubs. So if you guys definitely want to hear more, please stay tuned. We have a couple of amazing episodes coming up and we're super, super excited to share them with you guys. Although this episode was filmed with solely just audio, we are letting you know that our next episode will be filmed and will be posted on our social media pages. So we are excited about that. Topics that we're going to be talking about, we're going to get some guest speakers. Yeah, we're going to have some students involved, some student faculty members involved, one of our seniors involved in 4th year talking about his experience throughout GBDA program. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, we are getting in contact with someone that has graduated from the GBDA program. So seeing if an alumni can join our show.
Yeah. I'm super excited for that one because GBA alumni go on to do such amazing and fascinating things that being able to speak to some of them would be an absolute pleasure.
And comparing our experiences to theirs, because the program has changed so much over the past few years. It's not the same program as it was before when they were here. Comparing our perspectives going into this would be super cool.
I know. All the alumni I spoke to over the summer were just so happy to hear that GBDA is finally a co-op program, and they wished that they had it.
That's the biggest thing.
You guys are so
I know,
lucky
right?
for that. So lucky. Count your blessings, dude.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I want to thank Gaurav and Cindy as well, our co-hosts. They were amazing today.
Thank you